All right. The other day, I talked about giving testimonies and making sure you put testimonies on your website. Okay, so the other day, I talked to you about giving testimonies and making sure that there's testimonies on your website and how testimonies will drive sales because customers want to hear what you have to say if it's in their voice. But there's this question: what if you don't have testimonies? What if you don't have it for your product, or you're a new business, or you're going into a completely different field? What can you do? So let's take the example of, first, you don't have any business. You've never, you're just starting out. How do you get those testimonies? So here's some things you can do to, one, not get the testimonies, but okay. The other day I cannot do that with this. It's just the other day I was The other day, I talked about giving testimonies and putting testimonies in your business cards, and your website, on your posts, so people can acknowledge and see that you have clients and that you're speaking in their language. And then for you to use that same language when you're offering something, when you're selling it. Very important. But let's take a step back and say you don't have testimonies. You don't have something that you can say, this is how my clients like it. This is what they say. Here's how they're communicating with you. You don't have any of that. What can you do? So let's take it from the hardest position possible. One, you've got somebody, you got your company, and your company is just starting out. You've maybe done venture capital and you've got a lot of money, but you don't have any results. You don't have anybody saying, yes, it's great. What are you going to do? So here are some things you can do that really do help. First, use graphs, use charts, use things showing that it can work. So you can see that in this test that you've done, and you can show graphs and charts. People love graphs, charts, and numbers. It does matter that it's accurate. You have to have it accurate. But even if you don't have the testimony and you don't have that physical result, you can have that. And then the next thing you can show are studies. And these studies don't have to be directly related to your product, but influence your product. I'll give you an example of this. I was working with a company, and they had a new product that they were implementing into a new industry. This was an industry that hadn't had this product before, and it was completely new. There was one of like 3 in the whole world. So what I had to do to write for this product was find studies relating to it that, somebody has an objection. This doesn't work. So I found a study relating not to the product, but to how it helped answer that problem. And in this one, it was like security. How do you have security for this? So I studied a lot about security in the IT sector, and it was able to say, this is what we're solving with the security problems in the world, in your industry. See how many problems there are? See all this? This is what we're solving. So I had those studies related, and it didn't say we can do the best, but it said, here's the problems, and you can look at these studies. So you can do something like this. And then the next thing you can do, besides studies and graphs and charts, is you can also have just backlinks and, citing other sources. And then the next thing you can do, now this one is a little tricky if you don't have any customers. So that's why I've left it for later. But if you do have customers, but it's from a different product, or that it's transferred, so it's been like you've done in this sector, but not here, and you're going into the new industry, like NVIDIA has been in GPUs, and now they're also in AI, so they're transferring. We can use their expertise and their know-how, their power in one industry to influence what's in the other one. And we can have that transference and sort of use their testimonies. Say, well, we know NVIDIA is this way in their GPUs and in the hardware, and now they're doing software and hardware together, and we can see how that integrates. So you can do that in your own to transfer from one to the other. And then the last thing you can do, and this is the weakest, but it still works, and that is to have quotes from famous people that you give the quote, and it doesn't actually, like, it supports your idea in what you're trying to do with the product, but it isn't promoting the product at all. It can be just a quote from, let's say, Elon Musk, or I think it's Andrew Ng, NG. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Ng. So you can give a quote from him or from some famous person. And if it's related to the field, so if it's related to the, let's say, data science field or to IT, and somebody's making a quote, that can trigger in a person's mind, oh, this person, like the famous person, is also supporting it. It doesn't work completely, but it does boost the relevance of what you're trying to have the testimony for. And that's a sort of social proof. These are all not testimonies, but outside of that, where you can boost your own product and boost your own image in your company. And that's a great way to do it. So that's what I have for you today. If these help, and if you like it, I've got some other great ideas and a package that I think will sort of get you going. And it's called the 7 Power Keys to Boost to Explosive Business and Sales. Take a look at it in the link, or if you want, also email me, give a like, a thumbs up, a comment, dance a little jig, do what you can. Keep in contact with me. Tell me your ideas if you want to know what would help you, and I'll see if I can give a response to that. That's all for now. Take care.